Let us continue looking at graphs of quadratic functions. I have a graph here which I wrote down before, x squared minus 4x plus 1. Alright, so x squared minus 4x plus 1. Okay, now this is the graph of x squared minus 4x plus 1. Now you should review my other videos on completing the square, right? This graph is not in that form. When I'm talking about, when I say the graph of completing the square, I'm really talking about the graph in the form x plus h squared plus k. And I can have the a in front of it, where a, h, and k are constants. Alright, let's see if we can write this in that form: x squared minus 4x plus 1. So this is not really about completing the square. You have other videos that you can review for completing the square, but let's just do it anyway. X squared minus 4x plus 1. You know that if you have x plus h squared, it is the same as x plus h. X plus h, when you multiply them out, you have x squared plus, so it's x squared plus hx plus hx plus h squared. So it's x squared plus 2hx plus h squared. Now let us put a bracket around this so that we can write part of it in this form. We have x minus 4x. Let's rewrite x minus 4x, x squared minus 4x, I should say, x squared minus 4x. Then let's put the brackets all the way out here, plus 1. Now here 2h is the same as negative 4x. So if 2h is equal to negative 4x, right, then h squared would be what? We have to find h. H is going to be negative 4 over 2. Right? No, I had said negative 4x. The x doesn't belong there. Alright? So let me say that part again. Here, 2h is the same as negative 4. Because you know, x squared minus 4 is the same as x squared plus negative 4. 2h equals negative 4. So h is the negative 4 over 2, which is negative 2. So then the h squared is negative 2 squared, which is positive 4. Because negative 2 squared is equal to positive 4. Alright? So this says plus 4. But instead of saying plus 4, let us just write it as plus negative 2 squared. Alright? Now that you added negative 2 squared to the function, it has changed. So you need to remove it outside the bracket. So you say negative 2 is plus. No, let's not do that. What you would have here is minus negative 2 squared. You added negative 2 squared inside the bracket. You have it just as you want. You don't want to interfere with the bracket again. So you go outside and minus negative 2 squared. And remember, this is not really something that you might have to do all the time. If you get a graph in the form ax plus h squared plus k, you just work with it. But in this case, I'm imagining that you get the graph in the form ax squared plus bx plus c, and then you're asked to write it in ax plus h squared plus k. All right, so let's continue here. This now can be written as x plus h squared. X squared plus 2hx plus h squared is the same as x plus h squared, and we have our h as negative 2. Alright, so this can be written as x plus negative 2 squared. But then you just rewrite this as x minus 2 squared. Alright, if you expand the x minus 2, you will get this. You will get x squared minus 4x plus 4, which is the same as negative 2 squared. Alright, then outside the bracket you say plus 1 minus 4. So what you have is x minus 2 squared minus 3. So this graph is in the form, let's see what it was again. What was the equation of this graph? X squared minus 4x plus 1. So the equation of this graph is x squared minus 4x plus 1. It is the same thing as x minus 2 squared minus 3. Alright, now before we actually examine the graph some more, let us just make a little check here. Suppose we expand out x minus 2 squared minus 3. Would we get x squared minus 4x plus 1? Just to test it. X minus 2 squared minus 3 is the same as x minus 2 minus 3. So let's go. This is x squared minus 2x minus 2x plus 4, and then we add the minus 3 at the end. X squared minus 2x is minus 4x. 4 minus 3 is 1, so it's plus 1. Okay, good. So everything is okay. Everything is all right with this graph. All right, in terms of the new form that we take. So this is in the form a x plus h squared plus k. Right, where k would be negative 3, h is negative 2, and a is 1. You can see that a is 1, h is negative 2, k is negative 3. Alright, so if you're given x squared minus 4x plus 1, and you're asked to write it in the form a x plus h squared plus k, then you do what I did earlier, and then if you're asked what is the value of a, h, and k, then you would show it here. Alright, now let's examine the graph some more. Let's erase, let's write what we have here somewhere up here. Let's erase some of what we did here. Yeah, erase this, and we have x minus 2 all squared. So it's x minus 2 all squared minus 3. So this is a graph of y equal x minus 2 all squared minus 3. Let's erase the rest of the board. Have this down, have this, and this. Good. Now what we'll do now is examine this particular graph here and see how it relates to x minus 2 squared minus 3. Let me make it thicker than it is now. Okay, and I'll show the labels on the graph. So the label says f of x equals x squared minus 4x plus 1, which is the same as x squared minus 3, the x minus 2 squared minus 3. Alright, now these values that I'm seeing here, these writings are small, but could make them thicker. This here, or I could write over them so you can clearly see this is 2 on the graph and this is negative 3 on the graph. Notice what happens here. Minus 2, this is x minus 2, right? Here now, could use this color. Minus 2 here. You see, this tells you that the graph is shifted 2 units to the right, and here you have the 2 units to the right, the shifting of 2 units to the right. Now the minus 3 is telling you that the graph is shifted 3 units down. Look at this. It's shifted 3 units down. Let me put this over here. I erase part of the arrow here. Let me put it back. And then the 3 units down. This. Now, let's put y equal x squared there and see where we're coming from. Right? But before that, you can see the shifting of the graph. 2 units to the right, 3 units down. Now, remember we have 2 here and we have negative 3 down here, right? And we can draw a vertical and a horizontal line here, just like that. Suppose we also plot the graph y equals x squared, x raised to the power of 2. This is the graph y equals x squared. Let's make it thicker and change the color as well. What should we use? I'll use some greenish color. Okay, good. And I want to show the label. Alright. Now the green graph is the graph of y equals x squared. The black graph is the graph of y equals x minus 2 squared minus 3. Now, the minus 2 inside the bracket shows that the graph x squared is shifted 2 units to the right. And The minus 3 outside the graph shows that a graph x squared is shifted 3 units down. We can make a modification here. This is x squared. Suppose I put open bracket x minus 2 close bracket squared. Okay, so you see that it has shifted 2 units to the right. When I put minus 2 all squared, let's put it back. Or, yeah, let's put it back. X squared. Why call x squared? Good. Now, suppose I say this is x squared minus 3. What would happen? The graph is shifted 3 units down. Alright? You see that? So let's put the graph back up there. Good. So inside the bracket is showing how much you shift the graph. Outside the bracket minus 3. Inside the bracket x plus or minus a number is showing how much you shift the graph, left or right. Outside the bracket minus 3 here, could be plus or minus a number, is showing how much you shift the graph up or down. You see that? So suppose we perform 2 things at the same time. We say open bracket x minus 2 close bracket squared, then minus 3. Both of them, both shifting applied at the same time. Let's see what happened. Okay. It matches the previous graph because we shifted 2 units to the right, 3 units down. Alright, so let's put it back where it originally was. Y equal x squared. So that's it. Alright, so you can clearly see the movement of the graph by examining the equation of the graph when it is in the form, let me change color, when the graph is in the form a x plus h squared plus k. Alright, so that's what we have. Well, we'll end it here and we'll examine this particular subtopic in another video. So I'll see you then.